Ahead of Donald Trump's inauguration, I got a chance to sit down with the outgoing US Ambassador to India, Eric Garcetti. He expressed confidence on growing India-US ties. He also said that the recent development of the high-level committee looking into the alleged plot to kill Pannun, Gurpant Singh Pannun, the founder of the Six for Justice, he said the recommendations of the committee are welcome and that he would urge the government to act on the individual concerned and also go as per the advice of the committee for various other systemic changes and systemic corrections. I also quizzed him about H-1B visas, which of course is a big point of contention with the incoming administration of Donald Trump. Mr. Garcetti, Ambassador Garcetti, highlighted the contributions of immigrants from India to America's growth story. He also opened up about the intergovernmental probe, like I said, that was on a plot allegedly meant to kill Gurpant Singh Pannun. Here's that exclusive conversation with the outgoing US Ambassador to India, Eric Garcetti. All right, so it's been a pretty eventful 2 years as ambassador here in India. I'm now joined by a very special guest, Mr. Eric Garcetti. Thank you very much for joining us here on CNN News 18.
It's a pleasure. Great to be with you.
You've had a very eventful tenure. How would you look back at it, the time that you've been here in India?
You know, it's been like a dream, and I've been coming here since I was 14, but I've gone to 27 states and 6 union territories, from chai with soldiers in Ladakh to, bathing at sunrise in Kanyakumari, from, the Rajasthan, desert with school children to Nagaland working on health in the jungles of the Northeast. I've really seen how exceptional this country is, but more than exceptional country, what an exceptional moment this is for US-India relations and our power to help our people more than ever before. If a generation ago this close relationship was unthinkable, unimaginable, I think for the next generation it's going to be indispensable.
But you say, it's a pivotal, indispensable relationship, but there are challenges when it comes to national security, on this whole Khalistan business. So how do you navigate that?
Beautifully. I think that the proof of our relationship is not just the peaks that we've achieved, and they're record peaks, record visitors, record students, record trade, record defense cooperation, record space cooperation, the list goes on, but also how we navigate the valleys. And the day after a challenging moment when I pick up the phone wondering, will we set backwards? My Indian friends are, how do we deepen this relationship? How do we accelerate this relationship? We've had an American president who's the most pro-India American president and an Indian prime minister who's the most pro-America prime minister in either of our countries' history. And to me, that reflects what our people want, not just what our leaders want, that we want to have more exchanges, more immigration, we want to see more trade, we want to see more defense cooperation. And, I'm one of those few witnesses that behind the scenes has seen that. Like a marriage, it's not just whether you love each other, it's whether you can navigate a fight or two. You never agree on everything, but we agree on much more than we disagree, and it's an example to the world.
Have you been intimated about this latest development, the findings of the high-level committee that looked into the Pannun case? Have you been told about it by your Indian counterparts?
Of course, and it's a great and positive step that again shows how we not just navigate those values, but we're able to talk to each other on difficult conversations. We said there needs to be accountability, systemic change. This report is saying that India will pursue both, and it's a very positive step.
And you're satisfied with their response so far?
So far, absolutely. And then vice versa, there's many more steps, but vice versa, when India is saying you have to take seriously the threat to our people, for instance, San Francisco, when a consulate was attacked, the FBI has prioritized that, investigated that, and we'll move forward, whether it's the Rana extradition or other things that are of concern to India. So I think we're really hearing each other much more. Doesn't mean that there won't be missteps, but the strength of a relationship is whether you emerge from that stronger or weaker, and we are absolutely stronger.
One of the concerns as we look into the new incoming administration is the controversy around H-1B visas. What would your advice be to them?
My advice is that H-1B visas have helped the United States, and immigrants from India have strengthened our country. 1.5% of our population, but 6% of our tax base. People running Fortune 500 companies, universities, states inside the United States, our vice president still currently. This has been a relationship that we should never walk away from. In fact, we should look at how we can bring greater investment in immigration, make sure there's not unlawful immigration, and that's something I think US and India should contend with, and in this incoming administration will. But, the US and India are stronger when we're together, not when we raise walls between us. And we have common threats, common opportunities, and that comes from not trade wars or immigration wars, it's going to come from greater integration.
This year has seen the highest number of Indian students enrolling in American universities. But now, as we look to the next 4 years, what would you say to the students who are planning to go to the US, who have concerns and genuine concerns that they may not be able to work, they may not get a visa to work, etc.?
I'd say keep coming. We love having Indian students, our #1 source in the world right now. 100,000 of those, almost 250,000 students, are able to work at the same time and after they graduate with their degrees. So the system is set up to encourage people in key industries. I think about doctors, Indian doctors, who go to rural areas in so-called red states of the United States that an American-born doctor can't be found for. 1 in 4 Americans has now been treated by one of those doctors. So, you know, a new administration gets to set new policies. There's legitimate conversations about the safety of our borders and lawful entry. But I do know that the Indian immigration to the United States has always made us better, and I hope that they will continue that.
And one final word, your home city, there's been the LA fires. I'm sure you've been in touch with your folks back home. Everybody okay? Has the Indian government representatives reached out to you?
Absolutely, and thank you to my Indian friends who have reached out. My family is displaced, thankfully alive, and their house is still standing, but so many people have lost everything, and of course some have lost their lives. But we see this in India, whether it's flooding or in my hometown as fires. The so-called new normal is really the new abnormal. This climate change is something that's not going away, and I'm really proud of the work we've done together with India to say we can chart a brighter future for our children and our children's children.
All right, Ambassador Garcetti, thank you so much, and
Dhanyavad.
good luck.
Thank you.
Thank
Dhanyavad.
you.